Physical power forward for the New York Knicks, Anthony Mason, holds court.
I'm a very aggressive nature person.
Sounds like a job for Anthony Mason to me.
Just as easy as you receive success, you can lose it if you don't work hard.
The pride he takes in his defense is what really makes him special.
Going through a certain amount of failures, you achieve a work ethic, and I think it was all stepping stones for me.
Yeah, it really slipped through the cracks coming out of Tennessee State.
You never forget where you came from.
Played overseas in Venezuela. We saw him in the USBL. He's been a terror for New York.
I think going through those experiences and that adversity, they do find a seed of equivalent benefit in that. And that equivalent benefit is that they get hungrier and hungrier and hungrier, and they don't give up.
Thinking Mason. Oh, what a slam and the foul!
The product of Mason's work ethic is that he's garnered Riley's complete confidence and bolstered his own.
The full confidence was here with the Knicks because they were looking for a player who could just play, not where he came from and what he did in the past and what people said about him. They wanted the person today and what he supplied for the team, and that gives you confidence in yourself when you know a team wants you for you and not just to be a piece to a puzzle or something like that.
Throughout this season, and especially now in the Knicks championship drive, Anthony Mason has become an integral part of the team's success. And if New York does overcome the Bulls and ultimately win the title, a key factor will undoubtedly be the aggressive play of Anthony Mason.
Anthony Mason with a spectacular drive. What a move!
It's all pluses for Anthony Mason.
And despite all of Mason's success, he still keeps things in perspective.
If you keep working on something and never give up and keep working hard, then you one day will be successful in anything you do. So that's really what it means to me, making it finally in the NBA with somebody that, you know, wants you here, somebody that appreciates you for your talents that you have.
For the presence of Mason, and the foul is called on Mason, and he gets an earful from McGuire. Well, earlier with Anthony and Mason up the floor, Starks is fouled and have the beginnings of a beautiful rise to the hoop. Now Edwards and Mason exchanging some trash talk. It looked like he'll get fouled hard. On that play, that looks like an intentional foul.
He was a big part of the success that we had during the 90s. Mace and the haircuts and the charisma that he had, and you know, he kept everything loose.
For John Starks, the long path before finally settling into the NBA served only to strengthen his resolve.
I think that road that I took made me a lot hungrier and just showed me how hard I have to work in order to improve my game, in order to get back to the NBA. I just used those two leagues as a stepping stone, and you know, it propelled me back into the NBA.
Since arriving in New York in 1990, Starks has displayed a fierce competitiveness and desire, which has won him instant admirers.
To me, hustle and hard work is a talent. It's okay to run through the locker room door and run out on the court and be excited and enthusiastic, you know, about the game. And I think that's what John brings as a leader.
Oh, getting ready for a big night.
Now he's grown as a player and he's becoming more productive as a player, so more is being asked of him.
What a move by John Starks.
I like to be able to be a go-to guy in clutch situations.
Starks has become a go-to guy in New York, and along the way, he's gained a reputation as one of the league's top hot shots.
Starks is some fancy ball handling, and he's heating up. He's one of the great streak shooters in this league. If he gets hot and gets his adrenaline flowing, he's liable to knock down 6 or 7 in a row.
As a shooter, you never give up on your shot. If I miss my first 5, I know the next one's going to fall, and it's just going to lead to a string of shots.
The fearless Knick guard isn't bashful about taking on the NBA's elite, and he does it with an all-out approach to the game.
Well, John is a high-energy basketball player, and he's a really, really tough guy. And I think what makes him so tough is that he's always so energized when he gets on the basketball floor, you know, doing everything at high speed, full volume.
Even when he suffered a broken nose earlier in the season, Starks may have been knocked down, but he wasn't knocked out.
He's a very courageous player. That's it. You know, he'll play with broken bones.
Starks for three. Yes!
He has that kind of resolve and resiliency. So I wasn't surprised. I would have been surprised had John not come back out on the floor.
Here's Starks for three. Yes!
Perhaps it's his humble beginnings that have made him so gritty and gutty. But time and time again, John Starks embodies the Knicks' hard-nosed style that will perhaps lead New York down the road to glory.
But some trouble for the next Sherman Douglas with a hard foul on John Starks. John Starks felt like he was run into by John Starks. Left the game and got his ribs iced and taped in obvious pain. The Knicks were worried. The rest of the NBA probably said, so what?
On taking the shot. In the OT, that's Del Curry shoving away Starks, and then hit the three-pointer. Starks.
The teams exchange words. Pippen had quite a few things to say to Charles Smith during the afternoon.
Oak is Oak, you know, Oak do what Oak do. And he was like that tough guy that we could all depend on. He was the guy that had our back at all times.
Of being slapped, legendary enforcer Charles Oakley. If you owe this man money, prepare to be dealt with in said manner.
Schlägerei an, zum Beispiel Paulus Williamson und Tom Gugliotta. Möglich.
You know, I was always trying to do the right thing, and when you do the right thing and work hard and show people that, you know, you can be one of them guys in front of the line, and people tend to give you more respect.
Chyba niepotrzebny teraz rzut Vince'a Cartera, jednak stanął poza parkietem już Charles Oakley.
Albo to piłka.
Widać, że wbił się tam w kogoś Oak. No, starcie z dębem to chyba mała przyjemność.
Tak, już był.
Tak, już będąc poza parkietem.
Through the foul. He was hacked. Oakley and Aguirre in each other's face.
The two-game deficit. Detroit.
Because on Saturday night at the Garden, Charles Oakley advanced his reputation as NBA tough guy as a result of his fourth-quarter tussle with Seattle's Xavier McDaniel. A reputation such as this is expensive to maintain.
They got the TV. I'm like, why they got the TV out there at daggone breakfast? They showing the fight of me and Oakley. Right?
Yeah.
And they showed the entire fight. He cut it off and say, now we fight together.
Where Dave DeBusschere was sitting before, and he's not there. I guess he couldn't bear.
He's suiting up
to watch.
He's getting ready. Earl Pinckney, McDaniel up front on the call. Offensive foul on Brown.
Little shoving match there with McDaniel and Oakley. Oakley wanted that basketball. McDaniel wouldn't turn it over, so they banged a little bit. And Oakley, McDaniel. Just a couple of big fellas.
Physische Dimension unter dem Korb soll Xavier McDaniel sorgen.
I think he's another experienced player, a guy who can put the ball in the basket. He brings an aggressive style to the game. And, you know, he is a guy who has been out there night in, night out throughout the NBA wars and has done good things.
X-Man did a little pushing, and it wasn't subtle enough. He's getting harassed now. Here they go.
That is 6 on McDaniel, so he departs. Only 10 points, 3 of 11 from the field. Xavier McDaniel is fouled out.
This is a warning.
If your heart is weak, don't watch this feature.
This is a warning.
They call me X, Xavier McDaniel.
This is a warning.
X-Man.
This is a warning.
When I dunk the ball, I try to rip the rim down. You got to be the bang being in the post. I have a reputation.
Now technical foul.
Push, intimidate.
This is a warning.
Get tough, Ed. Get tough. Who am I?
Yeah, just who exactly is Xavier Maurice McDaniel?
I would say a fierce competitor who likes to win, who does anything that it takes to win, to get that, to win. Just go out and just play as hard as I can.
You feel any pressure?
Not really. I think a lot of people write about it. But I don't worry about it. I mean, you know, if the Phoenix Suns are playing the way we're playing now, we're going to beat anyone anyhow. I don't think it's one player or one person that's being missed. I think these guys would have this type of record if I wasn't here.
His stare is cold. He takes no prisoners.
No, that's the wrong guy, Peg. That's Xavier McDaniel. They call him the X-Man. He's coming this way, Peg. You don't know me.
Mention the name Xavier McDaniel. More often than not, the very next word is intimidator.
If things happen through the course of the game, I can't back down. I got to let this guy know, hey, this is my spot. This is my domain. I'm the man around here.
I need a man who's worth my while. On your knees saying, please come back. I'm no sucker. I don't go for that. I don't go for that.
Do you feel like you have to play up to that reputation, or is that just the way you play?
It's the way I play. It's just something that happened natural. It's not something that I plan to go out there and say, hey, I'm going to punch this guy out. I'm going to help him.
Just like a hero, X-Man always comes through.
I'm the X-Man.
X-Man. X-Man.
It's like this, right?
He's exciting. He's excruciatingly hot.
Hot, just like the Valley of the Sun, where McDaniel stands ready to achieve his dream of an NBA championship.
Behold, here cometh the dreamer, the dreamer, the dreamer, the dreamer.
You know, life is funny sometimes. I bet you never thought that you'd end up being a dishwasher, an All-American, and now be here in Phoenix with a chance to win an NBA title.
Well, it's just a dream, and I didn't think things are going to be the way they are now. You know, you can only dream, and I'm still dreaming. Don't want to wake up.
What will become of his dreams?
What will become of his dreams? Well, the Garden on Sunday.
Well, sometimes they should not jump in, and then you see how many guys talk, and see how many guys just let a guy slap another guy upside the head, and then you see how many guys back up there. He won't see that as much. So, I mean, guys know they're officially going to come in, and so that gives them an opportunity to talk. But then, you know, and then they know if you fight, it's a fine. But just imagine the league didn't have a fine. You'll see all the tough guys. I guarantee you that. You will see all of them. I just go out and just play basketball, good, hard-nosed basketball. Things happen throughout the course of the game. There's nothing you can do. I don't go out to look to say I'm going to beat this guy up or beat that guy up.
McDaniel, rebound, Jackson. Oh, McDaniel upset with what he felt was a very physical move against his teammate, Mark Jackson. And a technical foul is called on Xavier McDaniel. Anthony Mason and Bill Laimbeer are having some words. These are two very physical ball clubs. Here's another look at it. You see the bump by the X-Man to the back of Laimbeer because he felt that Laimbeer was a little bit too rough on Jackson.
Laimbeer with a money back guarantee. A killer in the paint, hitman with three.
There's a fight right there. Laimbeer and Jordan.
Unfortunately, everybody kind of picks out one person on their team to be a designated villain. I happen to be it.
Conflicting styles of play. These teams have only one thing in common. They love beating one another.
Meanwhile, Laimbeer shows the effects of challenging Sir Charles.
If anybody's going to be suspended for the first round of the playoffs, both teams jawing at each other. The Pistons did not like the fact that the Sixers clinched the...
Downstairs to the Detroit dressing room, and we expect a physical game here today. As a matter of fact, the Pistons told me they started preparing for this late Saturday at Game 3. Laimbeer, during the game, was frustrated by his own play. 0 for 6, walked over to Sally and asked him to punch him hard right in the arm, and he did. Then yesterday, during game films, Laimbeer, still frustrated with his own play, became angry with Sally, walked over and punched him because he didn't think he was playing well, giving new meaning to the term Bruise Brothers. And how about this? A fashion statement made by Detroit during warm-ups. They wore these two shirts. Have you hugged Bill Laimbeer? I can guarantee you this for Game 4 here in the Bull Ring in Chicago. You will not see many of those T-shirts.
Analysis by the NBA's all-time best free throw shooter, Rick Barry. Reed just inside the three-point line. Robert Reed buried it. He had had a horrendous time getting his shooting touch back after his injury, and Laimbeer is down. He is down because it looks like he got a shot from Olajuwon. When Olajuwon went down the court, Isaiah Wisely had to get it in 5 seconds, threw it off of Laimbeer. Laimbeer looked like he had taken a shot. I don't know if we can pick it up, but I think Olajuwon hit him. He's down as though he had been hit by a right cross or a punch of some nature.
Olajuwon had gotten hit in the face, I think, in some battling, and then he just absolutely took quite a shot at Lambier. Let's see if we can take a look at it when we come back. We've got a timeout on the court.
7:05 to go in the first quarter.
And the Rockets are doing a great job of shutting down the middle.
John Sally with the foul, and Lambier just knocked Olajuwon down and off the court. Remember, early in the ball game, Olajuwon with an elbow doubled over Bill Lambier. And I guess what goes around comes around.
Now watch Lambier. He's running on the right part of your screen. Keep an eye on him. Now he's in the middle of the screen. Olajuwon inside. There's the foul. He runs after. He couldn't stop himself. He had gotten committed, was in the air, and
heel to Edwards. Swipe by Olajuwon. Lambier bumps Olajuwon. Olajuwon took it. Then Bill Lambier bumped him, and he gave him a backhand slap to Bill Lambier. He wouldn't be the first guy to do that.
Level, looks like he's shooting left. There's a fight. Olajuwon and Kupchak. Now Lucas.
They're pushing each other, and Olajuwon just reached back and threw an elbow at Kupchak, and then they just started. And the referee...
Some of the Houstonites, though, was when Lucas put a chokehold on...
Del anterior enfrentamiento, esta vez en casa de Seattle, y ahí estamos viéndolo. Sí, Michael Case, precisamente, ahí está, otra vez el enfrentamiento entre estos dos hombres.
Muy grande, ponerse...
Y ahora estamos viendo repetido el enfrentamiento.
20 or more points. And Olajuwon throws a... McDyess they're pushing and shoving there. And now they get in their face, and McDyess clearly... There's the first punch.
Olajuwon ya está en cancha y acaba de hacerle una personal. ¡Atención!
Kevin Willis.
Or couldn't break. I was too strong. These things wouldn't happen to me. So the mental state takes over now. Are you mentally strong enough to overcome the physical? Now you have to sit back, mentally stay tough, stay focused, get the foot healed, go through the rehab, and get back on the court again.
Ewing pretty well, and Ewing kind of swung his arm. And
Wilkins gets back to the deck, and once Mahorn.
Willis and Mahorn get after each other. We're going to see Isaiah come in.
Well, let's see how they sort it out. I don't know.
Very hard.
A call a flagrant foul on Willis.
Up ahead for Willis. And he's fouled on his way in, and that'll be a flagrant foul. In fact, he's been ejected. Sam Mitchell has just been ejected.
Sam Mitchell's calling him out.
This does not bode well for Sam Mitchell's participation in the next game or two. It doesn't help when Rod Thorne is in the audience either. Here's the play that started it all. Kevin Willis on the breakout. And Sam Mitchell with the hard foul. 9:25 to play in regulation. We'll be back.
Your thoughts on the Sam Mitchell play and the flagrant foul? Does it require and is it worthy of a suspension?
Well, I don't want to rush to judgment. It's something we'll certainly take a look at. That's why the flagrant foul was put in the point system was to prevent fouls such as that, and we'll take a close look at it and make some decisions.
How difficult is it for you to suspend a guy in the playoffs, and is it any different than the regular season because it is a short series?
Same thing as the regular season. Playoffs don't mean anything. We look at every flagrant foul committed, and when we have to make a decision, we will.
Seems as though there had been some problems between Willis and Sam Mitchell the entire game.
Well, there was a double technical early in the first half between the two. I don't know if there's any history here. I don't know about that.
Any bad history with Sam Mitchell?
Not really. He's been a very good player in the league, and don't really have any history with him.
Thank you, Rod. Greg?